Goose, 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 goose. Goose, 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 goose.
Ladies and gentlemen, what you have to understand about a friendship with Eric is the way that he just has this unexpected way of kind of heightening things is maybe like the best way that I can explain it. It's you picture an activity with Eric, you picture spending time with him, you even kind of picture like a simple conversation, and you think, oh, it's going to be something crazy. You think it's going to be what in your head is at a knot, okay? But then you actually go, and the actual experience with Eric turns out to be the real 9, and the seemingly extreme thing you sort of pictured in your head is not actually the 9 at all. It's maybe like a 5, 5.5, like whatever the fuck. Here's the thing. Sometimes it is deliberate with him. Sometimes because just the thing you got to know about Eric, he's a bit of an instigator. He's a bit of a rabble-rouser. He's a guy that sort of looks at life, and even life's kind of craziest and busiest moments. He says, yeah, you know what? This is already kind of nuts, but I'm just going to pour on a little bit of this hot sauce I just bought at Ace Hardware.
Go on.
Eric texted me a couple days ago. This is for one of the movies that we're reviewing. I saw it very, very early. He only got to it recently. I've had this goddamn film in my head for 2 weeks, close to. And I'm thinking, what's the conversation going to be? What's the back and forth? This whole thing. I have the 9 pictured in my head. Okay. And then in one moment, in one fell swoop, and it's important to know sometimes Eric does choose this, but sometimes the chaos he adds to the thing is just the way he moves through life, the way he just kind of exists sort of within the universe. The text I get from Eric just reads, I'm taking my son to Bone Lake.
And I actually corrected it by putting the R, rated R in parentheses, after bone.
After Bone.
So it was Boner Lake.
Okay. I'm
Which
taking
already
my son to Boner Lake.
Inappropriate.
I text back to him. I said, I don't recommend it. I think that's pretty kind of shaky fathering. I'm paraphrasing a little bit here, but the next thing Eric sent to me was, that'll be great. It's kind of like family bonding time. Fair bit of that in the movie as well. Yeah, go ahead.
Look, I said to my family, I've earned this. They're not showing Bone Lake at many theaters around here. I have to go out of my way to see this film, which I don't want to see, and it's probably going to be an awful film.
Right.
So that's how I prefaced it. And then at that point, everybody's like, okay, do your thing. Like, if you need to go out and watch that.
You led with an apology. You led with just, this is something I have to do for my art.
I knew it was bad. I didn't know what level of bad it was. I just knew that it was going to be a subpar experience for me.
And ladies and gentlemen, we will get to that film in just a few minutes. I tell my son, yeah,
15, I say to him, look, I'm sorry, bud. We'll go see Black Phone 2 when it comes out. That's going to be great. I've seen a couple trailers.
Good reviews. Everybody very excited about
positive things. So we'll do that. We'll rewatch the first one, then watch the second one. And he goes, you know what? I'm not doing anything today anyways. Let's go see Bone Lake. And I'm like, Boner Lake?
Boner Lake?
And he's like, yeah, Boner Lake.
Uh-huh.
And I told him, I said, there might or might not be some uncomfortable sexual content in this film. All I know, though, because I didn't want to spoil it for myself, is I watched the trailer. There's these 2 people running naked through the woods. They've got little hearts covering their genitals. And then some person either gets shot, bent over a log in the puss or the butthole.
Puss of the butthole.
And I said, so that's
as it turns out, ladies and gentlemen, door number 3. Well,
yeah, some dude got shot through the scrot.
You're right.
At which point we had waited 25 minutes for the movie to start, and it gave us that in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Of starting, and I was just like,
the film.
"Oh God, this film is going to be something that we're going to be talking about long after we see it."
Right.
And then from there,
and it was just not quite in the way I should. I think either of us really expected. Ladies and gentlemen, the number of times I've had to in the past 2-3 days tell Eric specifically in regard to this movie, save it for the pod. Let's just save it for the pod. We can't talk about this right now. Let's just save it for the pod. He is laughing. He is covering his face.
I have this thing about me now where when I'm really excited to show somebody something or experience something with somebody, time slows down. And in my head, I'm like, I'm either anticipating the worst or I'm just waiting to savor the experience.
Time slows down. Everything kind of just kind of gets sort of slow and sort of dilates. Is that when you're actually in the moment of sharing whatever that thing is with the other person?
Yes.
Yeah.
Weapons.
I know the
it
feeling.
happened for weapons. When you told me about it, you talked it up. Both you and Naveen had seen it. I'm like, fuck, I got to see this movie. I know it's going to be great. And I watched it, and I seriously it was everything slowed down around me. And I just took everything in. And it's weird because it's like after I watched the movie, like real time kicks back in again. And I'm like in my body and I'm taking it in and I'm just like, okay, what did I just experience? What did I just watch?
Right.
Was it a good film? I'm not even sure. And then it just from there, as I think about more and more, that's where I kind of make that decision. This movie, complete opposite. No, I knew from the first 2.5 minutes
from the drop. There's almost a relief there. There's almost a reprieve there because once you kind of know, let's. I'll say it one more time. Let's just like a few more minutes. Let's save.
You see how I prepared for this? I brought beer. I brought beer because I'm still trying to get over what I'm dealing with.
Right. Let's introduce the show.
All right.
So, welcome to episode 12 of Cunny of the Goose, our spin-off show about gaming, horror, anime, and other nerdier fare. My name is John, and I'm joined, as always, by my fellow silly goose, Eric, aka EB Games.
Wonk, wonk, wonk.
All our content is currently up on the Rebels Without a Pod YouTube site, where our sweet little goose is still statistically the most disliked piece of long-form content on the channel. Parentheses, show your face, coward. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Our mutual friend, known here as Max Fontaine, yet again, will not be joining tonight unless you have a surprise lined up for me. Unless you have something like a special guest ready to go. No, not for this point.
No, he's not coming. No, sorry.
Yet again, will not be joined tonight, although we really do help to get him on a future episode. Episode 12, Cunny of the Goose. What are we doing tonight? Part 1. We debuted our pre-show about a week or so ago. This is part 1 of our Cunnyween Horror Cinema Spectacular, where the two of us have chosen a number of films that we're going to get through and review for the spooky season. We have 4 movies mutually unseen by us, and for each host, 4 additional films unseen by them, picked by the other host for whatever reason. Tonight we're getting through about like the first half of those picks, but first let's kind of kick things off with a question. 2025, just very generally, how has this been? Just both of us as kind of huge fans of the genre, like the guys who just like discussing this stuff. 2025, how has it been for you for seeing brand new horror films in the theater?
Honestly, it's been a pretty solid year. I feel bad because I'm still playing catch up. There's still films that I've missed that you've brought up that you said are fantastic that I have to watch. I'm still waiting for stuff to be streaming, which is not there yet. Although I did see The Monkey was on Disney Plus now.
Oh, sure.
So there's a number of things, but if I think about my favorite movies for this year, I want to say all 3 of them are probably all horror films.
Are you talking like brand new movies for this year?
They're all all 2025 movies.
All right, so let's go through like the top three like best for you real quick.
Sure. I did throw in there Sinners. Sinners again. I
Counts
started
1000%.
And I did not expect it to be as fucking awesome as it was.
Yeah.
So that was up there. I also put up Weapons. I thought Weapons is just solid storytelling, really good. Despite that crazy like Ronald McDonald's witch woman, I spent half the movie trying to figure out what the hell that was.
Yeah. Amy Madigan, the wife from Field of Dreams. For my money, the scariest, most evil thing I have seen in films this year.
I was like, please don't be like a reprise of like Nicolas Cage's character from Longlegs.
Right.
Mommy, Daddy.
So Sinners, Weapons, and what would your third be?
I also put there Companion.
Yeah.
I had forgot we had seen that one, and I started thinking about that day. I'm like,
not just seen, but covered on the show with it like effusively and in some depth.
Yeah, but it was just such a great movie. And again,
just,
knowing something going into it,
right.
That's what blew me away. I'm like, what is this going to be?
I remember from the poster thinking, oh, this is probably something about Mormon trad wives, or this is some kind of like just sort of big love kind of style. Just beautiful rich lady from Salt Lake City, but just her life is a nightmare like under the surface. Companion, incredibly written, tight, funny as fuck, nasty in all the ways I think like you and I both kind of enjoy and appreciate for like kind of horror.
Yep.
Looking at my horror list, let me kind of go through, because I've been like kind of obsessively kind of ranking and tracking everything that I've been that I've sort of been watching this year, kind of new and older stuff that we're doing for the pod. But I got my 2025 ranked list of horror, and like the top three identical to you. I got like for Sinners in number 1, Weapons number 2, Companion number 3.
Cool.
I kind of within the ranking, I do like a kind of within that, I do like a love tier, a like tier, and a dislike tier. One other one in the love tier for me, and it may just kind of be, this was not like this was not a critical success, this is not a commercial success, but it just really just hit all the all the right notes for me, and I'm going to be curious. We're going to cover it on like the pod in the second half of this month. But Until Dawn was actually like another love for me, like something that just that my girlfriend and I attended, because the Saturday night, all the Saturday night screenings of Sinners that weekend were actually completely sold out. I sort of proposed, let's pop into Until Dawn, and it really kind of ended up being one surprise.
Cool.
Then kind of going down, I've got 6 in like the upper like tier. It's interesting actually. So Anthony, was it Anthony Perkins? Osgood Perkins, Anthony Perkins' son. His film The Monkey has been kind of just like the inflection point between sort of my love tier and my like tier for this year. Just like a really, really fun, really, really entertaining movie that it just I had a great time kind of sitting through it. Didn't quite hit like the heights, whether the lack of just kind of weirdness or just kind of depth, or just it was missing just like a tiny fraction of these top tier things.
That's what I saw for reviews. I was excited to see it. I was kind of bummed I missed it at the theater because I saw trailers for it, and then just reading reviews, I'm like, okay, if I want something to watch on a Saturday night,
it's a lot of fun. It's
cool.
It's really for it's better than Long Legs, which I think had like a lot of ambition, had like a lot of ideas, but didn't quite pull together for me. It's easily like the best of the two.
Oh, cool. Okay. Long Legs I really liked, but not the first time around. I watched it a couple more times.
Oh, is it better on a second pass?
When you understand what's going on, everything fits together a lot more smoothly. The problem is I can't get rid of the fact that fucking Nicolas Cage.
It's whiny, the best and worst part of like the movie.
Shitty voice, and where he just kind of like, you can tell he's kind of confident in this role. Like he just knows that he's knocking it out of the park, and it just pisses me off.
Yeah, he's got a new character, a new look, new set of ideas, and just he's
so like just go with it. Whatever feels natural to you, and he just does these like whiny, shitty rants, which just piss me off.
Yeah. It's tiptoeing like a little bit into like sort of like the late period kind of Marlon Brando kind of when he just would show up and kind of do whatever the fuck, your island rock and roll kind of things, the closest.
Yeah, I don't have to look at the script. That's fine. I'll just wing it.
Right. Yeah, but kind of on top of that, even in like the highlight kind of category, all things that are kind of clustered just outside of completely love for me. But 28 years later, Together, The Long Walk, Bring Her Back, and Final Destination Bloodlines, all movies that had original ideas, had the proper budgets for what they were trying to do, were really fun, were really well executed, and just ultimately, one of the biggest kind of challenges of being a horror fan is this kind of tendency within the genre to just kind of repeat the same stories over and over again with kind of with only kind of slight variations to it, Yeah,
I know what you mean.
Yeah. So for me, like the bottom four that I got on this, and these are not even movies I completely disliked, but Ash, Dangerous Animals, Clown in the Cornfield, and Woman in the Yard are all kind of iterations of superior things that have been done before. Ash was just kind of like a bootleg sort of Alien knockoff, Dangerous Animals, kind of just Aussie horror exploitation. Clown in the Cornfield, any number of kind of like 90s kind of just sort of meta slashers, like The Faculty, Scream, things like that. Woman in the Yard, like is just kind of like a kind of a low rent sort of Babadook sort of knockoff. But none of them were even movies that I hated. All of them were just kind of movies I just was sitting that I sat there thinking to myself, the better version of this has already been made and is already kind of like out into the world.
It sucks. It sucks when I catch wind of some of these movies and I just look forward to them, and then when they finally come out, I'm like, what a piece of shit. Like Clown in the Cornfield, I had high hopes for that one. I just thought it was going to be a fun slasher. Some guy running around in a clown costume murdering teens, and it pretty much is that, but it just and Will Sasso was that bad.
And then it like the rug pull, the little differentiating thing that it does, I kind of lost me at that point because I'm like, I've seen this, and I was there for the version of this being really like I was there for these kind of meta moments in slasher, these rug pull kind of things. Scream obviously being the biggest of the bunch, but like this is not you're not doing something exciting. You're doing something that was kind of done and hyped to death and sort of became like overplayed like 25 years ago.
Yeah. So, and I know you don't have a Shudder account, but I always look forward to like Shudder originals that come out every year.
Sure.
They put them out mid-year, and then again, in October, they have a bunch of new ones that come out. There's some that I still have to watch. I want to watch VHS Halloween.
Okay.
They've been putting those out.
It's really good reviews this year, that particular iteration.
Yeah. I mean, it's because they focus heavily on Halloween themes. And so I think that's what kind of giving it like, a new life to that series, because it just really kind of died out after like the fourth or fifth one.
Okay.
But I want to see that one.
Any other like Shudder originals you want to shout out for things that
there was one I saw. I don't love it, but I didn't hate it. And the reason is because I believe it's based off of a Stephen King short story, and that's the exact way it comes off. So I didn't feel disappointed watching it. It was called The Rule of Jenny Pen with John Lithgow.
Sounds that's a very Stephen King title, if nothing else.
Yeah. It's about this guy that he's put in an old age home, and there just happens to be kind of like the local bully that picks on all the other old people that is maybe not as old or as crazy as the rest of them. And what he does is he rules over them using this little doll. Like he makes them like kiss the doll head or like kiss the doll's butt. Just stupid stuff like that. But it's all psychological. Because every time he sneaks into somebody's room and you don't see it happen.
I feel like I'm already like filling out Stephen King bingo with tiny doll head, a bully kind of terrorizing like the rest, like a relatively mild population, just old people like in an isolated space.
Yeah, he also keeps threatening them of like the Sasquatch that he's friends with. And invite into the room. They're like, there's no such thing. He's like, his name is Harry. He's a cool guy. You're gonna love him. He's gonna break your legs. Like, okay, John. All right. There's another one I want to shout out, and I haven't actually finished this film. It's a French film. It's called The Ugly Stepsister.
The Ugly Stepsister. Okay.
I sometimes what I'll do is I'll put on, you know how the Shudder has those like live channels you can watch where you just, oh, you don't have it. So you don't know.
Yeah.
They used to have 3, now they just have 1. But when you, you know, you access the Shudder app, it will kick into a movie. Like it's just in the middle of a movie usually. And they had this one, The Ugly Stepsister, and I'm like, what's going on here? And it was about all these women that were going to some kind of, it's like they were, so there's, the way I understand it, because I missed the first like 40 minutes, it's about this woman. Think of Cinderella, right?
Okay.
Except there's only one stepsister, and she's pretty decent looking. She's not that bad, but
this being a French film, if you met this woman in real life, your penis would probably fall off. That's just,
probably.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, she's decent. She's decent. But the stepmother is a total bitch, and she's torturing her. And what she's doing is apparently the prince is looking for a new bride, and so all the women in the town are competing. And apparently they're all going to like this like beauty school or something like that, where they're going through this rigorous training. They're trying to lose weight. They're trying to work on their vocals so they can, you know, he likes apparently beautiful singers, dancing skills, all this stuff.
Is this a period piece? Is this kind of set in sort of kind of like pre-revolution times, or what's the? Is there like
maybe you can?
Is it that there's a vague pre-20th century kind of?
I honestly think it's just straight up, just like Cinderella. Put a paint on it. So as I put it on, I'm like, okay, what's going on? The stepmother's, she brings the stepdaughter to like this doctor, and he's like, I can do all these different things, you know, I'll get your daughter ready for like, you know, for this school. And so to prep her, he's like, I'll check her teeth out, make sure they're all clean, like everything's good. And just look her over and make sure everything is, you know, structurally sound. So he goes, he takes all these weird devices, he's sticking in her mouth, she's making weird noises. You think he's gonna rip teeth out at one point, but in the end, she's just kind of like, oh, that wasn't that bad.
Okay.
And you're like, oh, okay, that was.
Well, are they doing kind of like a bit of like a like a Cronenberg style body horror thing at this point?
A little. They don't show too much. They just imply stuff. But then the doctor says, you know what? Her nose seems a little off. I can actually fix that as well. And the stepmom's like, oh, do we like? I think she says you have to set up an appointment. He goes, no, I can take care of it right now.
Right.
And he goes, hey, I have my little mallet over here. Hold on a second. So he goes over, and he leans her back. He goes, hold on, this will only take a second. And he goes, he takes out a little mallet, and then he takes out this little, like, it looks like a spike almost, like he's gonna give her like a lobotomy.
Right.
And he leans her back, and she goes, oh, what are you doing? He goes, and then taps it, taps the mallet on the spike, and it just breaks her nose right in the middle.
Right.
And I was like, oh, fuck. And she just starts screaming. And he goes, oh, that looks good. Oh, you know what? Let's just do a little more over here. And he hits it again and breaks again. And she's just screaming even louder. And he goes, all right, I'll patch it up. It looks good. She's ready to go. Come on.
Just check out with reception. We'll give you 20% coupon for the clear coat.
I looked online. A lot of people recommended this film for like a good horror film. I'm like, I don't know if I need to watch the rest of this. This is awful.
Right. It sounds like the kind of thing it will. It is a bummer when you kind of look at those sort of super low budget things, and like that's the thing that they had the money for. If you kind of end up going through if you're like, okay, this peaked 45 minutes in, then just kind of cut your losses.
Yeah, I think what it's going to be is she's going to get shit on most of the movie. And then she's going to get like, in the end, she's going to succeed.
If there's going to be revenge with her mom, her probably being tied down to the chair and like a bunch of weird fucked up stuff is actually good. Everything insinuated in that doctor scene at the halfway point will actually like kind of pay off in like the last 10 minutes.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's going to reprise. Don't worry.
Okay. Well, amazing year for kind of horror so far. Like the quality and the variety. And I will also say just like the access that you kind of have. Like the number we're doing on the mainline pod, childhood trauma, mostly just kind of 80s and early 90s, kind of like PG-13 horror films, and the fact that all of these things are just streaming for free on Tubi or one of the other just kind of free free services that are out there. It's I think that sort of drives just kind of like that access and sort of social media platforms like Letterboxd and these days. I think that sort of drives a lot of like kind of like the capital and like a lot of the interest into like the horror genre, and the fact that you have kind of these mega success movies not being these franchise things or not being these kind of like based on like a kind of like pre-existing IP, but you know, shit like I didn't shout out for my loved category, but also Nosferatu. That obviously
I
established movie.
didn't see it.
Came out like Christmas Day. I'm still counting for this year. You know, it's exciting to kind of be like a sort of like a horror fan these days, because you know the money is kind of what talks to the industry at the end of the day, and like a lot of these movies just have really fantastic return on investment. You look at like the money that they spent to make Sinners. They look at the money that they spent to make Weapons. You know, like Weapons, they something like $250 million on like about like a $10-15 million budget. Like, you know, when as opposed to like, you know, just kind of what they're doing, like a lot of kind of IP, like kind of, you know, kind of superhero storytelling. Something like Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four barely broke even like this year.
It's wild though too, because Weapons and then Companion involved crew members or directors or producers from the Barbarian. Barbarian. So I mean, look at that right there. You can tell that some people that are kind of discovered, you know, I thought Barbarian was a good movie. I thought Weapons was a much better movie, but just kind of perfecting what they kind of discovered works. And then, you know,
Barbarian was the kind of movie that should have been Jordan Peele's first movie instead of Get Out. Like,
you think so? Yeah.
Funny. There's original ideas. There's kind of something there. And then like the Peele's second movie should have been something like on like the level of Get Out. It's, you know, it's just you know, this is kind of rehashing a prior conversation, but even with these things, and again, what's wild about Barbarian and Weapons both, Zach Cregger, this guy coming from a sketch comedy background, not a guy, not like a James Gunn type who'd worked with trauma like his entire life before kind of getting
also worked on the It movies.
Oh no shit.
The recent It movies. That's why when you see the woman, the creature in Barbarian, I don't know about you, but it reminded me of like that old woman in like the first 30 minutes of It Part 2.
Sure.
When they go back to like, I forget the girl's name, but she goes back to like the apartment that her and her stepfather were living in.
Right. And there's an old woman there. She disappears off camera for a few minutes, and kind of how she comes back. Just this huge hulking creature screaming, just looks so ridiculous. I'm like, oh God, this is the worst part of the film. And then it you know, comes back in Barbarian. I was like, oh God, she's there. They used her again. Right. Comes back in Barbarian, and the only thing she wants to do is breastfeed.
Yeah, I gave her a hug that second time. I'm like, okay, come on. Look, I feel bad about that first movie. Let's do this. Let's do this.
Baby.
It's a moment for you and me.
All right. Well, kind of great year of horror so far. Let's pivot as hard as we goddamn can from all this positive talk. Let's rip the Band-Aid off. Bone Lake.